So today I am going to show you how I did the florals for this lettering piece I did. When I do a piece like this, I use an awful lot of layers. I try to keep various elements on their own layers. And you may notice if you watched other people work, they use a lot of clipping masks. I am partial to Alpha Lock instead. So for today's tutorial, that is what I'm going to stick to, but I will do another blog post too to kind of explain how they're different. You get the same result, it's just a different method of going about something. Today I'm gonna show you how to make this cute little floral. Super easy. It has its own layers. I'll show you how to group them, and you can kind of move them around and then use them as elements in your lettering pieces to surround your work and fill space. So let's get started. So first thing you're gonna wanna do is open a canvas. You can just make it screen size for the purpose of the tutorial. I used this floral palette in mine, so I made that a free download in the blog post, so you can grab that from the post if you want to work with the exact same colors. I'm going to use a variety of brushes. They're all from my Procreate packs in my shop, but you can just use similar ones you already have or ones that come standard with Procreate. And I'll try to explain those as I go through. So the first thing we're going to do is make the main part of the floral. So I am going to select that really light peach color. And then what I did is I used a stamp. It was the triple leaf stamp from in my floral lettering bundle. You get tons and tons of floral elements. So I'm just used this triple leaf, but we're gonna use it actually as a floral. So take that and stamp it. And for the purpose of staying organized, we're gonna rename our layer Floral 1. And then we are going to click the plus sign. That is our second layer. Drag it right there below, and we're gonna create a second layer of petals. So for this, I am just going to use my monoline brush, and I am going to use this darker pink color. And what you wanna do on that bottom layer is basically draw what ends up looking like a heart shape. So if I toggle that off for a second, you can see it almost looks like a heart. Oops. I don't know when I did that dot, but okay, so I'll fill that in and turn my second layer back on, and now we have the basis of our petals. So I will rename that layer Floral 2. And now we're just going to add a little dimension, which how I do it is super duper easy. So to alpha lock a layer means that we are going to make the transparent or the background transparent, and you can't write on anything outside the confines of your artwork. So you can take 2 fingers and swipe right, or, so I've turned alpha lock on that layer. Can you see now that the background gets a checkered pattern on your layer? That means alpha lock is on. You can also just tap a layer and click alpha lock. So let's go back to our main layer here and grab a gradient brush. I have one in my creative lettering pack if you have that, or you can just grab a standard one from Procreate. Now I am going to just come along the edge here and get close and just kind of there and right up the middle to just kind of add a little bit of dimension to my artwork. I'm gonna do on the bottom layer, I'm gonna use this darker peachy color, and on these petals, I'm gonna come from the center. So that's the basis of our petals. Super easy. So now we want to add a few more details. We wanna add some of the stamen. It's been a while since I did floral anatomy back in school. So we are gonna add some of those, and we'll rename our layer. And then grab the yellow color here, and then grab a small, I'm gonna go back to this one, a monoline brush. I think I have one in almost every, if you did the floral kit, you'll have it in that. You have it in pretty much every bundle, different variations. So for that, I just kind of randomly draw, you know what, I want that to be skinnier. I'm gonna go back to the detail one. Yep, too thick. All right, so you can play with the brush size and just draw a few curved lines. I'm gonna do maybe 2 on that side and 3 on that side. Oh, I'm getting artwork everywhere. And then I make the brush size bigger and just add a dot to the end of each of those. And that's it for that layer. Now we just need to add some leaves. So we will do another layer. Again, I'm gonna drag it, select and drag it to the bottom. I'll rename that layer leaves. And I'm going to go grab this light minty green color and just draw a quick stem. Draw a couple, that's a little too big. You can 2-finger tap to undo what you just did. So if I draw a leaf and I don't like how it came out, I can just 2-finger tap to get rid of it. So I'll draw a few simple leaves, drag and drop to color those. And then again, we want to add just a little dimension. So I will turn Alpha Lock on, 2 fingers to swipe right on the layer. And then I will grab the darker of that shade and back to my gradient brush. And then again, just kind of along the edges, really simply add some shading and colors. Now you could do this with multiple colors too, but that's really it. So I've finished my floral. And so now, right now they're all on their own layers. So if I were to move one, the rest isn't gonna move with it. So what I need to do, you could either merge all those layers together, but then it's harder to go back and edit them. What I usually do, swipe right on every layer with 1 finger and then just click group. And now you can rename your group Floral. And you can, now it's confined in one, and now when we take our selection tool, we can move it around. This is also handy because in your final piece, you might want to do some florals without the leaves or some leaves without the florals. So you could separate those elements and make duplicate layers to kind of shift those around your page. So now you can see we are totally finished with that. So that is all I did here. If you look closely, you'll notice every single flower is the same. All I've done is vary the size a little bit. I've varied the angle, so it looks complicated, but it's just one floral used over and over. Now for the leaves, I did those more on their own layer so I could draw them in. So I placed all my florals and then I kind of drew my leaves to fit around my letters. So you may want to do just your floral and do your leaves and your stem separately. And then I did the same exact thing for these berries. So that was another stamp. That one is from my Enchanted Winter. It was the holly berries. So I just stamped those in white. I did the Alpha Lock and did some gradients in gray, and then I used a monoline brush to add the little pink details and do these stems. So I hope you find that helpful. Super easy, as you can see, and so many variations with colors and floral shapes that you could do to recreate this and add more interest to your lettering pieces.